Hey guys, Herman from Alpha One here. I wanted to do a quick review of the UNIT Solutions UNIT4 training rifle. For those of you that haven't heard, there's been some issues with the ATF. They came down on UTM and they are no longer allowed to sell to the general public. They can only sell to law enforcement in the military. I have a lot of UTM conversions and ammo, and so obviously once I run out of the ammo that I already have, thankfully it's quite a bit, but once I run out, it's basically that's gonna be it. So I've been looking for alternatives for when that happens so that we can keep training, and I came across UNIT Solutions and they sent me this guy for testing and evaluation. And we just put it through its paces this last Saturday during our advanced concepts in CQB class, which was a blast. And we basically ran this alongside with my UTM conversion in my AR. And everybody loved it, everybody liked it. It feels and looks exactly like any other M4 AR-15 pattern rifle. The functions, all the controls, everything is exactly the same. So it was great. And we use the marking rounds. They do have marking, non-marking, and blank rounds available for this guy. And as an added bonus, given that this is not a real firearm, it's not a regulated real firearm, we actually have an extra giggle switch right here, which is great. One of the limitations of the UTMs and simunitions and stuff is since you're using real firearms, basically the lower receiver of the real firearm, most of us don't have access to select fire, full auto, that kind of stuff, but you can with this, which is pretty cool, okay? So, what are my thoughts? In general, I really liked it. I think it just runs. We had zero issues, no malfunctions. I just got it done, got the job done, just like the UTM. And so that was great. I did go out to the range and tested it more at distance. And, I didn't have any expectations because, again, this was outside. There was a little bit of a breeze. And with these marking rounds, there usually aren't the distance on these, is usually not very much. So I had zero expectations of that. But I just wanted to get a baseline to kind of just get an idea. And yeah, 25 yards, basically, I was only able to make 2 impacts out of the 30 round magazine. And that was it. But once I brought it into 10 yards or less, which are the distances that we're concerned about when we're doing CQB stuff, then, all of my groupings were right around center mass, right where I was aiming. So it's perfectly capable of filling that role for that kind of work. So don't expect to be going out there outside, an urban environment type stuff and using this for that kind of work. This is for indoors. This is for fighting distances, CQB, that type of stuff. So, like I said, it worked perfectly fine. It does cycle the action. The CO2 does cycle the action. It feels like an AR-15. The recoil is a little bit less than a real life firearm. Again, 5.56 and 2.23 don't really recoil that much, so that's not saying much. But this felt quite like just a regular, normal rifle for the most part. So I always appreciate that. So in general, I really like it. The only things where I would, and they're not even criticisms or gripes or even negatives, it's just things to point out. There's just a couple. One, and I'll put some B-roll while I'm talking about this so you guys see how the magazines work. These magazines are very robust. They're very heavy, even when they're empty. And they're basically as heavy with or without the T-packs, which are basically the ammunition kits that I'll be showing you here with the CO2 cartridges and the ammunition. So whether it's the marking or non-marking rounds, whatever it is, and those weigh almost nothing. So all of the weight is in the actual housing of the magazine. It's very robust, but that also makes them pretty expensive. They're almost $100 just for one of these magazines. And they are also slightly thicker than your standard real steel magazine. So just a little bit thicker, not a big deal, but because of how pricey they are, because they are made to be able to withstand the pressures of that CO2 and like all that kind of stuff, I'm also a little reluctant to do a pretty crazy reload where you're tossing the magazine out, especially if you're in really hard floors concrete, something like that. So that's a bit iffy. If I'm going to be spending almost $100 in one of these, I want to take care of them. So just tossing these magazines out, I'm going to be a little bit reluctant. But that's pretty much it in terms of, well, the other aspect of this is that you can't top off partial mags. So those T-packs that have the ammo in them, whatever you have left after a scenario or a drill or whatever it is, if someone else needs the rifle to run their drill, then they're going to need a topped off mag, and you can't top off the partial mags. So basically you remove the T-pack out of this thing and that goes in the trash. That's not very efficient. That could also add up. Again, T-packs aren't ridiculously expensive, but the fact that I can't take advantage of the full CO2 tank and all 30 rounds, to me, it could be an issue. I think that as the ammo and all this stuff gets cheaper because more people start adopting them and they scale up their business, hopefully that stuff, all the costs will start coming down slightly. But as it stands, you're basically looking about the same investment for one of these kits as you would be for a conversion kit for UTM or simunition, something like that, plus their ammo. They're pretty similar. You might be saving a little bit with this guy, but not too much. But again, now you know that you would not ever be having any issues with ATF or things like that. And this is basically a hybrid between airsoft and paintball, right? And so I think they really came up with a cool product that really works. And I think it does fill in that gap for now. And I think they're just going to get better. They're probably hopefully going to be coming up with more options. And especially I'm hoping that at some point they have a pistol version. They don't as of now, so I still am looking for a pistol alternative, since I do have some UTM conversion kits for Glock 19 and Glock 17, and so I'm probably going to have to look into maybe doing something like airsoft for the time being, or again, once I run out of the UTM ammunition. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas or any other alternatives, let me know. I just wanted to let you know about this guy. I would love to try and test anything else that's out there. So if you do have any suggestions, let me know. If you have any comments or anything about this, let me know. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to find what else is out there and let you guys know about it. So that's it for now. See you next time.